Emory University is weighing in on the historical precedents being set as protests move into day 8 throughout the metro Atlanta area. CBS 46's Bobeth Yates has the details.
That's right. Emory professors broke down the tension behind the protests and the impacts it will have on those participating.
COVID-19 is a major public health threat. It'd be disingenuous not to recognize that structural racism is also a major public health threat.
Dr. Jay Vorkey says the community has to analyze the risks and benefits of protesting. And based on the number of people taking to the streets, it appears speaking out against racism is among the top priorities.
The protests are a manifestation of a disagreement about something else, and in this case, it's about policing.
Emory professor Hank Kilbanoff leads the Georgia Civil Rights Cold Case Project, which examines unpunished racially motivated killings. And he says based on history, he's surprised it took so long for civil unrest to reach an all-time high.
There was no instances in Georgia statewide in which a policeman over X period of time, X number of cases, it was a lot of cases in a long period of time, had ever been prosecuted successfully for beating up someone.
Kilbanoff says that's partly because of the grand jury process, where officers are not cross-examined or sworn in, and adds the threat to public health for structural racism could mean death. But as the community speaks out about the injustices, there are things that can be done to reduce the risk of contracting coronavirus.
Wearing a face covering, as recommended by the CDC, is a good way, again, to protect others. It's the same principle of what we apply in the hospital. My mask protects you, your mask protects me.
Vorkey says protesters should also be using hand sanitizer and, if possible, wear face shields or other eye coverings. But he warns, protest or not, there is always a risk of getting the virus.
It's critical that we be honest with the general public and acknowledge that there is no such thing as a zero-risk social activity.
We're told the number of coronavirus cases in the metro Atlanta area have plateaued, but officials say it could take a week or two before we know how the protests will impact the spread of the virus. Bobeth Yates, CBS 46 News.